Hello people and welcome to this new series that I'm going to be doing where I'm going to be talking about Linux, open source software, etc, etc. So today we're going to be sort of giving you sort of an idea of what free and open source software is like. I'll give you a hint. Good. Really good. Okay, so what I'm doing is currently booting from an Arch Linux ISO, and the first thing I'm going to tell you about Linux, which is free and open source, that's how it links to this video, is it's going to be quite fast and simple to install. No declining a company to sell your style to use their operating system. So what I've got to do is type Arch install into the terminal for Arch Linux. Most distros just come with a simple GUI thing, but I will show you Arch because it's customizable. Okay, 25, 63. What we'll do is select one. Oops, yeah, one. There's the correct one. One. I'm gonna wipe it. I'm gonna do UTRFS. Yeah. Um, Client example VM. So this is or client example. Oh bro, my password is a password. That's your hint. Useful hint right there. That's what my password is. My password is password. So, for a username to create an additional user, I'm going to skip. Now, if I want to get a nice little desktop, what I will do is do number 0 and give me a selection of a bunch of desktop environments. Now, of course, there's a lot of them. What one do I do? Let's say, even though I don't like, okay, let's do KDE. Let's do KDE. I was going to do Gnome, even though I don't like it. I mean, I don't really like KDE either, but yeah. So since I'm in VirtualBox in a VM, I've got to do number 5. I'll do Pulse or whatever that was. I can't remember. Yeah, do Linux. What do I want? Let's say NeoFetch, Retar, Notepad, QQ. Use Network Manager. You see, yes, yes. So it's going to be way quicker than what Windows will do, and also I've got no buttons to press to have it not have my advertising ID and diagnostics and nonsense like that that doesn't need to exist in the first place. You know, look, it's just telling me how to do stuff. It's quite simple, really, if you think about it. No, just no nonsense like what Windows does. I mean, macOS does a bit of nonsense with Apple trying to get you to use their Apple ID, but at the end of the day, I'd rather use an Apple ID over a Microsoft account, you know. Um, but yeah, so it's currently just like installing the packages and installing them. So I guess I'll be back when it's done. Hello, it's now done. What I just got to do is do a reboot. So what I do is type reboot into the TTY terminal and it'll just reboot. What I do this time is boot existing OS because it's now installed. and I also want to, it should just automatically do the guest thing, but that's another way of just ejecting. It, Wayland should work. So this is the SDDM, what is it called? Display manager. I think display manager is a very poor word for a login screen. I think it should be login manager or session, even session manager. I think sounds would be a better term, you know. So what I just want to quickly do is I should just be able to change the resolution of the display. Display monitor, and you can just crank it up to that and have 200% scaling, which this is kind of a showcase of what Linux scaling is like. That looks terrible, but so this looks pretty much like Windows 10, because this is incredibly customizable. You can add widgets, look, application menu bar. You can add the panel, which is, oh wait, that's what I did. Let's add some widgets to my thing. Let's put a application dashboard, which sounds like a fancy word. Okay, that's pretty much just like the Windows 8 start screen. You have the option, you don't have to use it. That one that I used, where do I remove it? I should have probably not used KDE, but I'll show you how easy it is to just be like, nah, I don't want to use KDE. So let's open up a terminal. Some sort comes with console KDE. So if I want to install something, I can be like sudo pacman. I should probably have my OBS window. So I can be like sudo pacman and -s. What should I put? Should I use Gnome just to show you? Gnome is a weird desktop environment. That's all you really need to know. This will be a bit of it's a bloated desktop environment. Blah blah. What's it want? I should. Oh well. Okay, fine. I'll just give it everything. So this is going to take a while because this is pretty much installing all the Gnome applications and not just like the required stuff. Actually, it's been quite quick, surprisingly. Quite surprised at how quick this has been. It's usually slower than this, because this, like, installing the full-on Gnome suite, I guess, would be the word to describe it, you know. But at least you can tell I'm not like cherry picking. I'm not using my favourite graphical desktop environment, which is Mate, which is what I'm using right now. If you look on like the taskbar and stuff. Okay, it's being a bit slow now, but yeah. Let's say I want to configure. In fact, I'll show you the full-on sends because there's a bunch of sends. Actually, how? So a compositor is basically the thing that does all the fancy like shadows for the windows and transparency, that little slight blurred transparent panel down there, or taskbar, whatever you want to call it. So what you can do is be like, oh yes, OpenGL 3.1. Is there a way to just completely disable it? I don't know how. You can tell I don't really like KDE and Plasma. So there's a panel up there now. Let's add something to the top thing or not. Yeah, you can look. This is what happens when you put way too much nonsense into your desktop environment. It's just laggy, slow. Yes, this is a virtual machine. Doesn't give it an excuse. Also, you install Mate to show you like the variety of this open source software world. So, if we just do this, it'll look. It's way quicker than Gnome. I mean, it's not too hard to beat, but I mean, it was actually being quite fast. But yeah, so I want to use a different desktop environment. I've installed them. What do? I just click log out, and if you paid attention earlier, or you just know how Linux works, you'll notice this Plasma Wayland. It'll usually be like up here, maybe a little icon next to your profile, depending on what display manager you're using. So let's say I want to use Gnome, so I'm going to do Xorg. It's Primods. I'm pretty sure last time I used Wayland Gnome in the VM, it just outright didn't work, so that's why I'm going with Xorg. Okay. This is why you should use Gnome. Black screen. Okay, now it's doing something. Okay, now what I've got to do is set my... I'm showing you the worst desktop environments. Worst. That's such a bad thing to do. So let's say 200% scaling. I think Gnome would handles this better. It looks better, the scaling. If you're using iOS, you'll see what I mean. So, or look at that. So this is Gnome 41. I'll ask what that symbol means. It means wide connection. Not a good icon. So the Gnome suite. The Gnome suite. Everyone calls it the Gnome suite. This, by the way, I hate Gnome equally as much. So this is the web browser. It's called Epiphany or Gnome Web. They can't make their mind up. Look, it's not even got the font correct. Let's do my website. I hate to be that person, but what other website am I supposed to promote? Actually, I could go. I've just thought of one, but too late. Look, Gnome Web. This is basically it uses WebKit, which is what Safari uses, and but this is like Safari open, but it's open source and worse. Oh, look at that. So let's see what, if I search up web, is that literally the only web browser installed? Firefox installed? No. Well, let's show you a thing that you can be really, that's really nice about Linux. So, let me check. Okay. Okay. Out of the box, Arch is quite basic. So, you do sometimes need to install nice open source software. Okay, this terminal's broken. I've got, so let me just I'm going to install a thing called Flatpak. And Flatpak is like a package manager, like it's basically. Oh god, that J looks awful. It's a package manager designed for Linux systems. It's basically stuff runs in a container, and also you can just install pretty much any Linux system in existence. And what will it be like? Will be shown once this is installed. Okay, it's installed. Might have to relaunch this app. Worst case scenario, just start my reboot my system. Stop. Come on. Well, okay. Update preferences. No, this is why I hate stuff like this. It breaks. This looks like a rip-off of Mac OS, but for some reason they made really weird design choices. Like the dock only appears when you press the super key or the activities button up there. Number two, you cannot see what's open right here, right now. You have to press the super key. I don't use multiple desktops, but if you want to access them, super key. If you want to, I don't know, maybe search your applications, guess what you gotta do? Super key. Do you want to look at all of your applications? You've got super key and click on these 9 dot squares, and here's your applications. Do you want to shut down your system? You might have said super key, but no, that's not it. It's up here in this corner here. You probably should have been paying attention earlier. Oh wait, that's the wrong thing. So let's now switch to Mate to show you the beautifulness of the Linux desktop. So I want to just switch, or just click Mate up there in that menu, and I just type in my secret password. Watch this. Mate will run noticeably smoother than Plasma or Gnome. Although it's got a very long black screen, doesn't it? Come on. No pause. Watch it like fix itself right after I click pause. I guess it's not one work. So let's say you're stuck on a black screen like this. There are a couple of solutions you can do. So what you could do is solution you could just restart, or a more convenient way, or worse, is pressing Control L and then insert a different button. It'll take you to this terminal thing which was used to be installing the system. Now let's say you know, as you can see, my system have break. So what I want to do is log in, and let's say I want to. So what I can do is sudo system ctl start fddm. That should just take me back to my login screen. after I type in my password. Or not. Let's see if I just do that. Or that just takes me straight to a Gnome desktop and then... okay. Proof that I don't cherry pick my nonsense. So, if you're having problems, what you can do is just press like other buttons and hope it does stuff. Technical issues are fun! Man. At least like I'm not faking it and stuff, you know. Open source software can be a bit of a fiddle sometimes. But I mean, I'd say it's a bit more fiddly than you know, like Windows. But I think the trade-off for like better performance and no Microsoft stalking you is a good trade-off. You know, you get no big corporations stalking you on your computer and stuff. Let's try restarting. And hope it does something. You know? This is going a bit badly. Let's be real. Come on. So, let's now try and do the same thing. It did take me to the desktop for like a split second. Come on. You can do it when you begin it. So I'm gonna try a different desktop environment. Now, of course you can have a normal desktop environment, but of course you can have a tiling window manager, and the difference is basically it's incredibly basic. So let me just quickly go into I don't know, or I could just go into TTY to be fair. So what I could do, install a tiling window manager. Let me zoom back out for all this. It's a bit slow because Gnome is not that great. So let's go back into a terminal with poor contrast. So I'm trying to install. I could just do that, and be like, I want to install i3, and I type my password, you know, and it'd be like, there's options. I'm just gonna select all. That's what it says. Gnome just needs to improve their software. Let's be real. I know I did carve into myself into this. Is it done? No, it's not done. But yeah. Okay. Oh, I think it is done. What I'm gonna do, I'm gonna log out and be like log out. and should, yeah, i3. Now, I think it's quite simple to use compared to other stuff. So let me um quickly zoom this in for you. So I'm going to generate the config and I'm going to do win. Okay, if I do the super enter, the win key, it'll give me a terminal and I can do whatever. Let's say I want to install Firefox. Guess how easy it is? I just do that, type in my password, be like, yeah, and it's going to be like, yeah, there's Firefox. You want to install it, and I'll click and press yes, yeah, and guess what? If I press the C and the D key or not, okay, there's reason I am missing D menu. That's why it's not letting me launch stuff. Basically, this is what launches stuff. So now, if I do that, boom, and if I do Firefox, it will open up. Guess what? Firefox. Now let's say I want to change my resolution from like a little menu thing. That's not what I want. I want to do a render. X render is something different. It's the same thing, but not GUI. So if I want to launch it, I'll do D or Windows D. That's the same thing, pretty much. And I want to change the resolution to I'll do something that's a bit okay, and oh, that's a bit out of frame. Uh, trying to think. I'll just do 300 there. Okay. What else do we install? Maybe you want to install Discord even though it's not open source. You could just be like that thing. Now let's show you a nice little application called Element, or Matrix. Well, Matrix is the server stuff. Element is the client for it. So if I go to element.io, I get this. It's basically a free and open source alternative to Discord. Well, it's not necessarily an open source targeted to Discord users, but it's a chat service. So where's the login? Modern interfaces. Get started. Oh yeah, if I install the client, I can just be like Element, and it should just beam. And I'm gonna do launch it once again, same as before. Oh no. Oh no, that's one way to mess up. For God's sake, there's another software called Element. It's some MIDI software. It seems. Okay, at least it's not. It wasn't updated terribly long ago, I guess. So let's say I want to play something. I could, in most applications, just press Control Q and boom. Or another way of doing it is the super or the Windows key, the Shift key and Q. And it'll do exactly the same thing for all applications. What else do you want? Maybe it's like Element Matrix. Of course, this is a problem that you might run into for some software, but I promise you it's not like that. I give up. So I'm just going to do the web application. going to be like, oh, here's your login information stuff. So let's say I want to log in, so I just want to do that. Now you've got multiple home servers, blah blah blah. Basically, home servers is basically where your login server is. So it'll be like the domain after the semicolon that I've just written. So mine is matrix.org. I'm using the standard matrix home server. You can host your own, by the way. And let's say so I've got to type in my password. Of course, my password is blah 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 blah. That's my password. Don't want to save my password with Firefox. We won't allow it to store in persistent storage if you're just going to use the web application. Okay. Come on. This is supposed to be a video about why open source software is good. I think I've successfully failed at that. But let's be real. Verify with security key. This is... I don't understand what on earth it's talking about. I don't remember doing a security key. Oh yeah, it's just for verifying it. So you access your encrypted stuff. Okay. Oh. No, I don't want to do that. At least it just gives you once. Also, for the sake of simpleness, here's what the UI looks like. So this is like my shells. You've got to join them manually, which is either a good thing or a bad thing. I can type stuff, and that's going to be bridged to my Discord server, and people are going to be like, "What on earth are you talking about?" I don't know what I'm talking about. Wait, what? Did I put that in the announcements channel? Oh no, that's the broken one. Don't worry. Thank God that's the broken one. So what I can be is just spam absolute nonsense in the chat like this and just do that. I pressed enter, it shall enter eventually, and people are gonna be like, what on earth is going on, you know? And that's a good question. Okay, another good thing about open source software is you can customize it any way you want. So let's say customize my appearance. So let's do appearance. See A or an A? I think it's an A. Yes, no. So I want to install Alex Appearance. It's good software. And if I do Alex Appearance, boom. It's going to give you options for all your different themes you have installed. So let's say I want this. I can just click apply and boom. That's going to apply. If I restart other applications, it will appear. Or I could do Mentor or Blue Mentor or Black Mate, you know. And then I can be like, okay, yeah, that's cool. Bye. Let's say I want to what do I want to install? Maybe I want to install a different terminal. This terminal's awful, I hate it. So let's say I want to do Alacrity. It should work, theoretically. Last time I tried it, didn't work for some reason. Hopefully it's sorted. No? Okay, if Alacrity doesn't work, another good handle that's recommended, and it's what I'm using because I can't get Alacrity to work, is Kitty. Pretty similar, it's slightly worse than Alacrity, but it's very similar. Kitty. As you can see, stuff likes to not work conveniently. So maybe instead you want, I don't know, X-Base terminal that. Oh, was it X-Base 4 or something like that? Yeah. That's one point. You gotta know what on earth you're typing. Let's see if Gnome software works, because it is kind of cool. Gnome software. If it wants to work. Oh, there it is. Looks, this theme definitely wasn't designed for stuff like this, in case you couldn't tell. Boom, it's got a flat pack. So, flat pack is a universal way they've made to try and install stuff. So, software can be installed from like a software center. It's that simple. It's incredible. You know? People came up with this idea of making a software where you can be like, oh, I want this PDF slicer install. What else do I want? Maybe I want, I don't know, play. Now, I don't recommend Gnome software for this, but I honestly don't really know much other Flatpak applications. And you've got Pamac, but that's Arch only as far as I'm aware. And it's for everything. A lot of software manage package managers, whatever you will call them. Let's say one, I don't know what on earth is in develop. If anything wants to load. Or not, well, bit of a shame. Not my problem at the end of the day. What other cool open source software? Try to think. My mind's just gone blank. Oh yeah, let's say one RSS. You can be like, white. Did the Pac-Man dash S white RSS, and you'd be like, yeah, do that. White RSS, and let's just wait for it. This is what I use. Well, did use on my desktop. I just haven't bothered to reinstall it. So let's do live row my with either RSS feed, because why not? Quite cool RSS, and that should just be it. And here's the RSS feed. Boom, 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 boom. It works. It just works. Look, i3 just works. And let's have a view. Let's, if I want to like view system resources, I could just do it from a terminal. Htop. Boom. 1.21 gigs of system resources uses, and the absurd amount of the virtual CPU. And if I want to exit this, in this case, F10 should be it or not. Okay. Do Control C stuff like that in terminal stuff. What else do you want? You might want, you know, when you see people use Linux and they post screenshots and there's a terminal showing system info. Well, what they're doing is typing the command neofetch, which if it's not installed, sudo pacman-s neofetch or whatever package manager you're using. Type it in terminal. It'll give you system information. Genius. 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 Genius, isn't it? Just genius, this. And maybe, oh yeah, if you want to update all your stuff, what you can do on Arch is just do sudo pacman -s y and u, and that is all you need to do. Nothing to do because everything's up to date. That's going to be my attempt at showing you free and open source software. I'm a terrible salesperson. You can probably work that out. But goodbye.